This is the best Bible on the market right now that you can go ahead and buy, and it's not expensive. And I'm going to explain to you why this is the best Bible. It's a hot take, but I hope that you'd stay with me and listen to this. Many times on YouTube and the Bible collecting community, there's this talk about the one Bible, okay? And I think it's a little bit of a silly idea. This thought that if I find this one Bible with the right format, with the right cover, etc., that my relationship with God is going to be just magnified. It's just going to boost. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to be just so in touch with the Lord. It's gonna be awesome. Bible study is gonna become so easy to me. And I think that's a lie that a lot of us fall into, is that if we have the right tools, then we're gonna be the better Christian. And I don't think that's true. I do think though that there is what should I say? That there's more eloquent versions of the Bible that you could have a personal opinion about. I think there is just Bibles that you read that you feel like, wow, I have this connection with. There's some sentimentalness to it, right? And I feel like that for me as well. I feel like a thin line Bible is right in my wheelhouse. I've tried interleave Bibles, I've tried wide margin Bibles, and every single time I always fall back into this idea that this is the one for me. And I've enjoyed Bible reading specifically in this Bible. It's been a joy to read, just to feel, just everything in general. It's been wonderful. So I'm going to explain to you 4 reasons why I think this is the best Bible on the market. I know there's a lot of Bibles. There's beautiful, there's Schuyler's, there's Cambridge, there's heirloom editions. Um, but I really am convinced that this is the one. This is the one. I've tried them all. I haven't tried all of the Bibles, but I have tried a lot. And so this specific edition of the Bible is the Full Grain ESV Thin Line. Okay, you could buy this on Amazon right now for $45, which is a great affordable price. Um, and I think that's a great deal. It's a wonderful deal. Normally, you could buy this for $90, but they had like a 50% off deal, which is awesome. Um, and so again, it's a great deal. So I wanted to explain to you 4 reasons, once again, why I think that this is a beautiful Bible. Okay, and I think this is the best on the market. Number 1 is the format. If you open it up, it has this beautiful, it's standard ESV thin line, double column format. Okay. Now, I'm going to explain to you why I connect with this the best. I've tried the single column format Bibles, for example, the ESV, um, it's the personal size reference edition. I've tried that one. What I found was why I didn't connect with it as much, or I didn't find it enjoyable to read. It was not because it was single column. I think single column's great, but because the lines were so close together. The lines were so close together. I also tried the Cambridge Clarion, and I felt like the text was too big. I don't know. It's just personal preference. Once again, this is my personal opinion. I feel like the double column is the best because just simply it's easy to follow. It's easy to preach with. I've preached with this before. I've taught with this before. Um, I feel that it's easy to catch your eye on this. I also find that the text size, again, personal opinion, I find it's perfect size for me. I feel like often too big for some reason, it just feels off to me, and too small, of course, it's hard to read. It also has the beautiful, once again, it's awesome. The ESV, their font for their particular editions, Crossway produces it. Um, it's honestly the best font size. I've tried reading the CSV thin line. Sorry, not the CSV, the CSB thin line. I've tried the NASB, the NKJV, the LSB. I just find that the font in this particular edition is second. It's amazing. It's second to none, and I find it's the best that there is on the market, the specific font. And if you are an ESV user, you know what I'm talking about. Another reason why I love this edition is the size. We've talked about the thin line before. I've used wide margins before. I've used the interleaved edition. I've used study Bibles. And what I find with all of this is they're just too big. Maybe you like carrying around a big Bible. That's amazing for you. But this is a perfect size because number one, it holds perfectly within my hand. I'm 6'2". I've got a big hand. So the pocket-sized Bibles or the pit menus and all those, they're too small for me. I feel like my hands, it's just too big. I feel that this is perfect. I want something I can hold in my hand, but it's not gonna be heavy. It's not gonna be too big, too chunky. Um, and I find that the thin line, it does that perfectly, particularly for me. I also want to talk about specifically, and this is why I think this particular edition with this cover is the best. It's because of the full grain leather. I don't know how to describe this other than saying it feels rugged. At the same time, it's subtle and it's soft. If you've ever used the natural leather edition of the thin line, or I know they made the natural leather for also the journaling Bibles and that sort of thing, you 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 might have an idea. It is rough to the touch, but it's also soft to the touch. It's thick leather. It's not this thin goat skin that many of us find. I've used the green goat skin from Crossway, their heirloom edition, and it's thinner than this. It's a nice rugged feel. It's thick. And also with this leather, compared to many others, is when you touch it and you scratch it and you set it down, it gets scratches on it. And many of you might not like that, but I love that. It has this aged feel with it that really gives it character. It gives it a look. It has its own again, its own character to it. And that's what makes it so great. You can make it really your own. You put your oils on it, and it shows when you use it. It shows when you use it, and it looks better for it. And it's very comparable to, I think it's the Horwing leather or the Wellington leather, one of those two. I always get those mixed up. And it has this beautiful, aged look to it, and you could see it there. Also, I want to talk about the translation. Personal preference, once again, I've grown up with the ESV particularly. I've used a True Tone leather edition of this exact Bible, and what I found with it is I fell in love with the ESV translation. Um, I don't have I don't know Greek, I don't know Hebrew, I don't know any of that, but I do know that when I read this compared to other editions, even the NIV, even the NKJV, CSB, so on, I just find I'm right at home with this. And if you're an ESV user, you know what I'm talking about. It feels right at home. And so those are the 4 reasons why I think this is a perfect edition. Of course, there's not space to write in your Bible. I get that. You might need a notebook. You might put the glue in the interleaved pages here. You could do that. Uh, However, I feel that the size, everything, you can mark this up, make it your make a system. Um, there's so many note-taking systems with your Bible out there. Find one that you love. And one last thing, and I did this myself. So if you look here, it has the brown ribbon right here. Well, there's also 2 gold ribbons that I personally put on there, and I just glued them on this card, and I cut it, uh, to fit within the spine, and I pushed it down, and you can't even tell. I found that the gold ribbons particularly, I love the look of it, and that's the one downfall of the Bible one, and that's why I adjusted it, was that the ribbons were too small, and I know there's some ribbon junkies out there. Um, it You just know what I'm talking about. They felt a little bit cheap. So I decided to add in 2 other ones, but I wanted to keep in, that one ribbon as well. So there you have it. I want to, I want to just talk about one more thing here. If you think that you need to have a better relationship with God, if you get a better relationship with God when you read a better edition of the Bible, it's not true. What I want to challenge you with today is to flip open your Bible, a physical edition of the Bible, but if not a digital version, flip open your Bible and start reading and digging into it. There's no better Bible than the one that is on your desk, on your bookshelf, on your nightstand, and you could flip it open and you could read. A better tool doesn't make you a better Christian. Okay. A better tool doesn't make you a better Christian. Okay. So this is why I think this is the best Bible on the market. But really, whichever Bible you have is the best one for you.